Hey, you there? I can't stop thinking about those drop points. Seriously, how did we not take all three against FC Tokyo? We've been grinding all season, and now it feels like it's slipping through our fingers. But hey, we're not out of this, not by a long shot. Right, enough moping, focus mode. We've got the Emperor's Cup semi-finals coming up. First up, Avispa Fukuoka. They've been solid this season, but we're stronger, time to show it. Then there's the Kashima Antlers in the League Cup semis. Talk about a heavyweight clash. Two hooby games that could define our season.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 20 of Red Bull KloppBot here on Sean Does FM with Omiya Ardija over in Japan. I hope you're doing well, and come up today we've got two cup semi-finals. First up, the Emperor's Cup, where we host Avispa Fukuoka before we travel to take on the Kashima Antlers in the first leg of the J-League Cup semi. So if you're looking forward to that, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up, all that good stuff on today's video. But at the end of last week, played a big top of the table clash in the J1 against Kawasaki Frontale. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. As you can probably see, we've now dropped down to second on the J1, which was a bit unexpected. We've played two games off back of that episode. First up, got back to what I thought was our best form as we took on Sulezo Osaka. Those guys are down near the relegation zone. Picked up a very comfortable 5-1 win. They made it 2-1 there at the 24-minute mark, but really that was a game we were always in control of and picked up a very, very comfortable 5-1 win there with 5 different goal scorers. There are the match stats, completely dominant. They did next to nothing, a little bit annoying. We conceded one with only their 2 shots on target, but still, it's a very good win, which I thought might get us back on track off the back of a couple of disappointing results. But unfortunately, we then got FM pretty hard by FC Tokyo. The second time this year, haven't picked up a win over these guys. I think they actually beat us earlier in the season, just going up to check, and indeed a 2-0 loss back in late April. But yeah, this is pretty disappointing considering we were well and truly on the front foot in this game. There are the stats, the XG in particular, not really sure how we didn't score more than the 2 goals and how we actually conceded 2. So that was a really disappointing result, conceding not too long after scoring both our goals. So drop points there again at home, so that's becoming a real concern for us here late on in the J1 season. Those drop points do mean that we've finally moved down to second, 1 point behind Kawasaki Frontale and 1 point in front of Consadole Sapporo. Still pretty tight there up the top, especially inside of that top 4. So hopefully we can sort that out soon. With only 6 games left in the season, it does kind of feel like we're starting to bottle things a little bit. To be fair though, going over the season preview, a quick reminder, we're expected to finish 18th. So really, not sure if it's bottling or we're just getting back to what we're supposed to be doing here this season at Omiya Ardija, but hopefully we can at least hold on for some continental football late on next season in the ACL Champions League. But today we're going to focus on the cup competitions, and we start off with the Emperor's Cup. This is just a one-off game where we take on Avispa Fukuoka, one of those teams in that chasing pack behind us. They're currently sitting in 4th position on the J1. This one is at home, so hopefully can pick up a good result there, and off the back of that we'll take on Kashima, who just lost to those guys 4-2. We'll focus on that game before we come back for the second one, seeing as we can do some hot spots for that game, because we didn't do that last time around when we took them on in the Emperor's Cup last year. But Avispa Fukuoka, we've already taken these guys on a couple of times this season. Let's go over to the data hub and check it out. We lost them back in June the last time we took them on 2-0, but did beat them 4-2 at home back in February. So mixed results between these two teams so far this season. Hopefully we can get the better of them and boost our confidence again off the back of those drop points in the league to FC Tokyo, albeit going to have to do it without our starting centre backs. So that's the issue going to the first game of today's episode. Millard Cole suspended for the first leg, and more concerningly, Daisuke Matsumoto is out for quite a while with a hamstring strain for 4 to 6 weeks. So he's really gone for most of the rest of the season. It has meant a little bit of a switch with our defensive options. We do have in our squad Shudo Tanabe, actually looks like quite a decent centre-back. So we're going to switch him to a ball-playing defender while Matsumoto is out with that injury. You can see 1.81 metres tall. That should do pretty well here over in the J1. Quite a tall player compared to most players in this league. So hopefully he can do a job for us there alongside Urakami And we've still got Nuki, who can sit on the bench. Two of our homegrown players there, him alongside Urakami. So a big shuffle up there at centre back, especially for the first game. We'll have callback though for the first leg of that J-League Cup semi-final, which in theory should be a bit easier with Kashima Antlers a bit further down the table. But hopefully we can bounce back into form here and make our way through to our first cup final of the Sabres. We'll take on Avispa Fukuoka at home. And here are the team sheets for the semi-final in the Emperor's Cup. There's our team. It's our best 11, apart from centre-back Tanabe, alongside Urakami with the suspension and the injury. Avispa Fukuoka coming to this one in good form, and they're going with a 4-4-2, as you saw before. A 1 win and 1 loss for each team. We've taken each other on so far this season. Hopefully, in front of our home fans, we can pick up a W and make our way through to the Emperor's Cup final. And we have to wait a little while for the first highlight of this game. It just passed the 20-minute mark here, and it is Avispa Fukuoka trying to make their way out from the back in the dark blue. But good pressing from us there, and we get the ball back through a Muzu off the back of a sloppy pass ball over the top there, and Kanade on a yellow card will pick it up. He plays it in there for Dimas, squeezes it nicely for Lee Hyun-ju, who unfortunately gets his shot blocked, but a chance for us now from set piece so far. We've been well and truly better team in this game, but still not much has happened until that corner that you did just see. There's a diving header clear there from Avispa Fukuoka that does deal with the danger from that highlight. And a few minutes later, we have a throw-in again inside the final third. You would have seen the stats there briefly though. Definitely on the front foot, some good short passing. Figueiredo also on a yellow card, takes on the shot there. Probably not the player we want doing that. Unfortunately, it goes straight at the goalkeeper. Well and truly on the front foot. Should have really scored now, according to our XG, but still 0-0. And it looks like that might do it for the first half. It was completely one-sided, but unfortunately didn't take those couple of good chances that we did see from those highlights. You can see there, a couple of really good ones and a little patch there where the XG continued to rise and rise, but for some reason, nothing doing there. Still 0-0. We'll take off both our wing-backs here on yellow cards for Nishikubo at right back and Fernandez at left back. With no Millard core, we can put Fernandez on the bench for this game, so thankfully that makes us a bit stronger there at left back, seeing as Kanade has picked up a yellow card, but going pretty well. Just need to put the ball in the back of net, so we'll tell that to Kinoshita, get the second half underway, still scoreless. And we don't have to wait long at all here for the first height of the second half. And again, we're on the front foot here. Fernandez finds a Muzu down our left-hand side. Bit of a loose touch there. Actually quite a good one. Sets it up nicely, but somehow Hyun-ju there has a shot saved, really. Should have tried to put that one in one of the corners, but unfortunately went straight at the goalkeeper, who makes the save. A few minutes later, we do see the set piece. Hyun-ju putting that one close to centre/far post, but unfortunately they deal with the danger. But again, going to get a chance here from set piece this time through Paul Fernandez. Tries to go there near post. It goes back out to Tanabe. He gets it back from Fernandez. Yamada at the far post, but unfortunately that header not too threatening. Easy save there for the Avispa Fukuoka goalkeeper. Well and truly on the front foot. Should have scored 2 goals now according to our XG, but still 0-0. Somehow just struggling currently to really score as much as we know we can at the hour mark. Another free kick here in our favour. Not much doing from it. Now get the ball in a dangerous area, albeit might be a chance here for Avispa Fukuoka to hit us on the counter-attack. They spray that one out right now to Gustavinho, but a good tackle there from Urakami. Thankfully, ball rolls through nicely there to Higashi. No issues. We can try and make our way out from back and do so quite nicely. Lee Hyun-ju, he'll find Yamada down that right-hand side, makes his way inside the box. He gets brought down. It's been given as a penalty, albeit the referee is going over to check out the little screen. It did look like a pretty clean tackle, but FM can be a bit funny with those. Hopefully, this will be a penalty and a chance for us to finally take the lead in this game. And it won't be, because the VAR must have David Cook back in the box. So unfortunately, this will be a corner. Let's see what we can do from this. Lee Hyun-ju takes his time over it, plays it short to Dimas, gets it back, floats this one far post, punch clear, and unfortunately into a good spot there for Pilaf to do something here for Avispa Fukuoka on the counter-attack, but good slide tackle that from Paul Fernandez. Still 0-0 with 25 minutes left. And we're just about sneaking our way here into the last 20 minutes of this game at the 69-minute mark. Nice time for us here to make a sub, because Lee Hyun-ju today is struggling just a little bit on a 6.4, so let's take him off here for Yokoyama. Still somehow 0-0. And just made our way into the last 10 minutes of this game in a corner here in our favour. Still not too sure how we haven't scored in this game. We've been well and truly the only team doing anything really on the front foot. We get the ball back off the back of that set piece and spray it out left there from Fernandez to Amuzu. This time Dimas goes down. To be fair, that tackle looked even cleaner than the one we saw before given as a no penalty, but this time he's not going over to his little screen and the penalty gets awarded. So hopefully this time we can actually score Kinoshita on a 6.4. If he doesn't score this, he's getting pulled. Otherwise, those players on red hearts, the goalkeeper goes the right way, but thankfully it goes through his hands. He picks up his 23rd goal of the season, so Holy Shida finally puts the ball in the back of the net for us here in this game. Hayakawa really probably should have saved that one, having done all the hard work, but off the back of that, we'll take off these players on red hearts with our final couple of subs. Shimoda can go in defensive midfield, and it will be Yukutomo coming on for Yamada at right wing. But hopefully, now we've scored from the spot, that will do it for this game. About to make our way here into added time. You can see the stats. Absolutely dominant in this game. Let's just hope we make our way through these 5 minutes of added time with no extra drama. And with 30 seconds left, might have spoken too soon. A throw in here for Avispa Fukuoka, albeit deep inside their own half. Doesn't take them too long though to spray it out left, and they start to get somewhat on the attack. Not for too long. Now they play it into midfield. Ball over the top there. Higashi will try and clear it, but does an absolutely terrible job. John Higashi's hit a shocker. And it's 1-1. That is a filthy bit of a highlight, that one from Football Manager. Thought we had this covered like from earlier. The ball over the top, it just did enough on it, I thought, for Higashi to deal with it. Really just needed to punt it into touch, but instead it gets deflected or something. Falls to Gustavino, who puts it into an open net. I feel sick. We've been FM'd again. 3.79 XG to 0.17, and we're going to extra time a few days before a League Cup semi-final, which is not ideal, especially because, of course, no extra subs in the Emperor's Cup here in Japan for extra time. So that's a costly mistake there from Higashi, but to be fair, apart from that, we've been well and truly dominant. Let's just hope in this extra time period we can actually score some goals. 1-1 as we kick off extra time. And we're getting some action quite early here in extra time. It's a corner here in our favour, going far post. Tanabe and a ton of space, but unfortunately that one, the goalkeeper tips onto the woodwork and then they hit it clear. So another chance here for us from set piece. To be fair, corners haven't actually been that great from in this save, so we're definitely due to score from one. Unfortunately, don't do it from that one, but we get the ball back here and hold it just outside the box. Tanabe, Benishi Kubo tries to square it, but unfortunately that pass takes a touch. And again, actually might be a chance here for Avispa Fukuoka to do something on the counter attack after somehow taking this one to extra time. I say somehow. Blimmin' Higashi, they put that ball into the mixer quite dangerously, get a hit on the end of it, but thankfully that soft target will encourage, because they are now staying to finally do something threatening in this game themselves. And off the back of that, we have a throw, and it's deep inside our half, but thankfully are going to keep hold of the ball. Urakami plays that one forward there, and now it goes out to Pau Fernandez before going all the way back to where it started through Urakami. Shimoda to Dimas. Let's try and sneak our way here inside of the opposition half, and we do so down our left-hand side, but the Muzu's pass there does get cut out, so Avispa Fukuoka here on the ball a few minutes shy of half-time in extra time, make their way inside the byline. Again, a dangerous ball that finds the header that time, I think, of the left winger, but thankfully, again, that one goes over the woodwork, and now a free kick here in their favour, which Higashi saves. You are joking, John Higashi. He's carried it into the back of his own net, I think. What on earth is he doing today? John Higashi maybe should go and join the Japanese version of My Chemical Romance or something with that haircut he's rolling with. He's been pathetic today. Oh dear, that's 2-1 at half-time. In extra time, the goalkeeper's pretty much just given away both goals. And it takes a few while for the first highlight here of the second half of extra time. Still absolutely filthy here with John Higashi, but Avispa Fukuoka are on the front foot. It's directly to Higashi, thankfully. For the first time this game, he actually does something good. He's down to a 6.0, which is pretty generous, but he saves that one. It is now the corner, though, for Avispa Fukuoka. And as you'd expect, with only 3 and a bit minutes left, they take their time. Put this one far post. We somewhat headed away. Not too well. Man in space, the edge of the box, thankfully, doesn't take on the shot. And Dimas, good interception. Amuzu gets the ball, but pumps it deep for some reason. Instead of trying to get us going on the counter attack, we make our way into 1 minute of added time. Oh, John Higashi, what on earth were you doing in that game? You've cost us both goals. Look at the XG. Kind of similar to FC Tokyo, but this time we've lost because it went to extra time and he carried the ball into the back of his own net from a free kick. It was quite a dangerous situation, a far post header, but still, I'm filthy about that. I'm going to let the guys know about it, but John Higashi will have to take blame for that one. We don't make an Emperor's Cup final because he stuffs up late, concedes 2 goals. We get knocked out in extra time by Avispa Fukuoka. So we're going to try and bounce back from that first game in today's episode where John Higashi had an absolute shocker. Thankfully, he actually got injured during that game, so not going to have to play him in this next one. To be fair, we'll check out what the KloppBot said shortly. I think he wants to treat him a bit now like Loris Karius and just get rid of him. So to be fair, John Higashi might not have much more of a future here at Omiya Ardija, especially because he actually somehow broke his finger during that game. Not too sure if it came from a save. He didn't make too many of them. Apart from that last one, it shouldn't have come from carrying the ball into his own net because that would be pretty tricky. Might be an excuse though, but a broken finger, he's out for 4 to 7 weeks, so it does mean you have to switch our goalkeeper, but to be fair, I'm quite happy about that considering what we just saw. So it does mean Tomoki Tagawa makes his way into the team. Here's your shot, son. Make sure you take it, because if you do well, you'll probably stay there for the rest of the season, because maybe the problem of late has been Higashi, because to be fair, his ratings even before that game weren't too great. A 6.5 against FC Tokyo, a 6.4 at the end of last week against Kawasaki Frontale, 6.2 against Kashiwa Reysol. So really, Higashi, that's been coming. I didn't actually think it was him the problem, but maybe it was. So we'll see if Tagawa can fix us here as we're going to take on the Kashima Antlers in this J-League Cup. I'll show you what the KloppBot said about that result, because it is quite interesting. And here it is. We showed him what the result was and also told him there that Higashi somehow broke his finger. As I said, not too sure how he actually said it. Might even be a blessing in disguise. Thoughts, please. He said it was a frustrating and frankly avoidable defeat. The stats tell the story. 4.17 XG. That makes me very, very sick. Only 1 goal, a penalty, and they capitalised ruthlessly on their limited chances. To be fair, didn't actually show him how those goals did happen, but I told them both John Higashi mistakes, 2 howlers compounded by a finger injury, were devastating. This feels like a turning point. Perhaps it's time to reassess his position in the lineup longer term. His confidence will likely take a hit even after he returns. I think Jurgen, as I said, might be going to do a bit of a Loris Karius here with John Higashi. Also, obviously, the finishing wasn't too good. But yeah, the goalkeeper there, really not too good. So, apparently we're not in crisis, but I did ask him, maybe it's a good time for a team meeting. So we did that before this game. We were going to take on the Kashima Antlers in the first leg of this J-League Cup semi. We just showed him what all the messages we could select were, because he actually told us exactly what we should say if M doesn't work like that. So instead, we told the guys, I know it hasn't been easy recently, but it's certainly good enough to turn things around if we stay focused and remain positive. And going back to FM, and thankfully, let's just switch over here to our dynamics. They've gone back up from what was very good club atmosphere to excellent, and also the managerial support that's gone back up as well. So thankfully, I think that team meeting idea might have helped. We'll see, along with the fact that Higashi's got injured, that certainly might be a helping factor considering what his form looked like before that absolute shocker that's cost us our spot in an Emperor's Cup final. To be fair, that would have been against FC Tokyo, a team we haven't bet so far this season, but hopefully we can finally get the wood over the Kashima Antlers. This is a team we've taken on a couple of times so far in the save last year in the Emperor's Cup. We're in J2. They were one of the better teams at that stage in J1, actually put up a really good fight there, a 3-2 loss. But earlier this season, it was only a draw in a league game at home. So a little bit concerning that form against these guys so far, but hopefully we can bounce back off the back of a team meeting and no useless goalkeeper who hopefully spends some time trying out for some emo bands here in Japan while he's got that injury. Not too sure how with a broken finger. Maybe he can play keyboard or something like that. We're going to take on the Kashima Antlers. We've taken these guys on a few times on camera. As I said, looking for revenge here after they knocked us out in that Emperor's Cup last year. But this is our first time we're actually going to have the chance to do some hot spots in Kashima. So seeing as we didn't do it last year, I really need to just try and improve my mind here off the back of what I just saw from that previous game and Blimmin' John Higashi before we get stuck into this first league clash in the J-League Cup. It's time for the KloppBot's hotspots in Kashima. And here we go, so we've only got a 2-hour trip here from Saitama to Kashima, so it doesn't mean we have to stay anywhere here before this game, that we are about to place with just 3 things here to do according to the KloppBot. He actually started us off here with a soccer stadium tour, but again, probably don't need to do that one considering we're actually playing at the stadium, so instead, here are the 3 new things that we'll be doing. First up going, the Kashima Jingu Shrine. As one of Japan's oldest Shinto shrines, Kashima Jingu offers a serene environment for reflection and team bonding, which we might need off the back of that Emperor's Cup defeat. Exploring its historic grounds can provide a cultural experience and a peaceful respite from the competitive atmosphere, which it definitely feels like we might need. As you've just seen, I'm still absolutely filthy about John Higashi and that performance, but there's the website he's recommended. There's a photo of, I think, one of the entrances to the shrine. Going down further, they've got a holy washing pond as well as a deer park. That could be quite interesting, probably actually where the Kashima Antlers name might vaguely come from, as well as a Ramon gate. And going down further, there's some other stuff that is quite nearby. But going over the actual website for this place, I think there's some cooler stuff here. They've got dragon boats and whatnot, so that looks quite cool. But there's the shrine. We'll go there and just try and make sure that every single player who made the trip for this game, because John Higashi definitely didn't with that broken finger, which definitely happened during the game. We didn't do it to him in the changing room off the back of it, but we'll go there, just try and forget that ever happened and get back on track here in the J-League Cup, hopefully a turning point in our run home in the J1 as well. Off the back of that, going to the Ono Shosai Hamanasu Park. This coastal park features beautiful sea views, walking trails, and recreational facilities, an ideal spot for light team activities or relaxation, allowing players to unwind in a natural setting. Again, that might be quite a good idea off the back of that Emperor's Cup game. Here's what it looks like on TripAdvisor. There's quite a few photos of what this place looks like. There's a couple of towers there, almost lighthouses. A very extreme close-up of the genitalia there of a statue. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Another statue where it almost looks like they're holding like a helmet with a bird on top, or like a Quidditch thing. It looks a little bit weird, that one. Going down further, there's a playground. That might be for the families, because not too sure if the players need too much of that. And there, I think, is the entrance to the park itself. So yeah, we'll go there and try and relax, because that might be needed as well off the back of John Higashi and whatnot. And our last activity is the Kashima City Fish Market. Experience local seafood culture by visiting the fish market. The team can enjoy fresh seafood dishes and observe the bustling market atmosphere, offering a unique and enjoyable group dining experience. So I guess this might be our feed while we're there in Kashima before we make our way back to Saitama. Apparently this fish market tour is a bit of a morning activity though, so maybe this is what we do when we first get to the ground. It can be our lunch. No doubt the fish market has some good stuff that can fuel the players up for this game. You can do lots of stuff here on this market tour. You can get there and then you need to be there apparently by 6:45 a.m. So definitely going to be an early train ride there to Kashima. There's a bunch of stuff here about how there's plenty of fish in the sea in multiple areas, I imagine. In life, a fish out of water, there's all the corny stuff you can see here in terms of the titles of this. The catch of the day, you check out the fisherman, but that's really what we're going there for. Actually, have a feed, I imagine. Apparently you can have a bountiful breakfast / brunch. That might be what we need, as I said, to fuel ourselves before this game. But those are the 3 KloppBots hotspots there for Kashima, where hopefully we can bounce back from whatever the heck that just was in that Emperor's Cup and take advantage into the second leg of our J-League Cup semi-final. And here are the team sheets for the first leg of this J-League Cup semi-final. There are Kashima Antlers in quite good form actually, and going with a 4-2-3 win. Now obviously, coming off an extra time game, we're quite tired, so lots of rotation. Obviously Tagawa in goal, Core comes back alongside Tanabe. We've got Ohashe Nabe in midfield, also Yukitomo right wing, Okai central attacking midfield, as well as someone from one of our youth intakes recently here in Tabori at left wing, and Junshu Shia makes his first start up front. So lots of changes for this game, might be what we need off the back of that result, but we did just pick up, because really pretty poor overall team performance with that 4xG that we didn't make the most of. But an early highlight here, we try and make our way out from the back after playing it back there to Tagawa in goal. Hopefully that was the problem, because really Higashi kind of see that performance coming with the ratings that he was picking up. And that's a really good start as Tsuchiya will pick up a very early assist, the 17-year-old one of our brightest prospects here. And Omiya Ardija links up there with Yukutomo, who puts it away in the top left corner. Nice pass there too, down our left-hand side. That might have even been Tabori. So good work there from some of our youth intake players to help set up that first goal. We might be bouncing back here in the J-League Cup, fingers crossed, as we take an early 1-0 lead. Albeit right off the back of us telling here Tabori to ease off tackles, having just picked up a yellow card. The highlight starts here of Foreign and the Kashima Antlers are on the ball. They switch that one quite nicely here out to the right-hand side. Sugar makes his way inside the box, but thankfully that one goes just wide to Gawa there. Looking a lot more solid though than Higashi has done recently in goal, but a few minutes off the back of that, there's a free kick here, and Kirajima will try and put this one into the top right corner, but Tagawa can save that one to be fair. Probably didn't get under that one enough there, did the free kick take it, but still, it's a couple of saves from Tagawa. That one goes over the bar from the set piece off the back of that. So to be fair, Tagawa doing a lot better than Higashi has recently in those couple of highlights that we have just seen. Highlight those starts pretty shortly off the back of that. Poor pass there too. I think that was through one of our players down our left-hand side, might have even been through Kanade, and we give the ball away, and Matsumura can put that one past Tagawa. So unfortunately, the goalkeeper might not be the issue. That's pretty poor that from Kanade, but thankfully, the goal be disallowed. Could see that one coming, seeing as the players, they weren't celebrating Sugai. In fact, not Sugar, not too sure where that came from earlier, but thankfully, he got the ball back to Yamada, but Matsumura was just offside, so we're still 1-0 in front. And we just snuck our way here into the last 10 minutes before half-time. I'm going to scan here from the wrong end of the field for a corner in our favour. Going far post there, Malanko controls it with his foot before banging that one past the Matsumoto. I think that is in goal for Kashima, and that makes it 2-0. This looks like it's going to be the bounce back that I was hoping for. A bit of a weird goal here to score from a set piece. But to be fair, as I said in that first game today, our corners this season, I think they need work going to our next one here at the Red Squirrels, because they haven't been too useful, but thankfully score from one, just not what you'd expect. Core comes back in though and picks up a goal. Definitely missed him, it felt like, in that previous game. Albeit I say that, our centre-backs weren't actually too bad, and we might make it free as Tsuchiya there does get played through, but to be fair, that looked a little bit too good to be true. It'd be quite big if he picked up a goal here in this J-League Cup semi, but unfortunately, indeed, that one was too good to be true. Let's just see how far off he was. It was a Hashi there to Yukutomo, and he's a good couple of strides offside there. So definitely the right call. It stays at 2-0, a few minutes shy of half-time. And now a highlight down the other end. Kashima are on the attack. Matsumura will square that one, but Core steps out nicely, clears that one away, but unfortunately can't control it there at the front. We try and mark again down that right-hand side. Goes into the mixture of Matsumura, puts that away. That one might be a little bit unlucky there for Tagawa, because I think that shot did take a decent deflection, bit of a scramble there inside the box from this ball from the Verbe. Gets it back here. In fact, it's Kirajima who puts it into the mixture, and indeed, Matsumura, that shot does take a pretty big deflection. Not sure Tagawa had much of an idea about that one, so unfortunately does get beaten. And now we're going to take a short free kick here just before half-time, albeit are going back quite a way off the back of that, so not too sure if the short free kick meta is going to work here in this highlight. Indeed, we give the ball away. Kashima might actually get a chance here to make it 2-2 before the half, so hopefully that won't be the case, but looks like our form is just going the wrong way here at the Red Squirrels, but thankfully that counter-attacking chance goes straight into the path of Tagawa, so still 2-1 in front. Even more highlights here before half-time. We make our way out from back, spray that out wide, and Yukutomo will find Figueiredo, who goes forward there down the right-hand side, just puts this one into the mixer. Their goalkeeper this time has a shocker, so I guess that's a little bit of justice from that previous game. Matsumoto comes out to punch that one clear, and this time Tsuchiya will pick up a goal, this time with his head. It was into an open net, much like the goal that we conceded right before full-time in that Emperor's Cup semi, but an absolute shocker there from the goalkeeper and our 17-year-old striker. He can put that one away. He's had a pretty good first half, an assist and a goal. Core picks up a yellow card, so maybe need to take him off here at half-time, albeit our options on the bench aren't too good, and it looks like Tanabe actually might need more of a rest there at centre-back, but that's a good finish to the half. We're 3-1 up here in this first away leg in the J-League Cup semis, and if we win this, we actually get to take on a team either down near the bottom of the J1 in Vissel Kobe or up near the top of J2 in Jubilo Awada. So if we can get past these guys massive chance to pick up a trophy in the J-League Cup. We'll take off Tabora on that yellow card, but Lee Hyun-ju can do a job at left wing. And just considering his centre-back, as I said, I think Tanabe might actually need the rest a bit more than Milag Kor. So we'll do that sub. Nuki can come on for Tanabe, having stepped in with that Matsumoto injury that we are dealing with, but very happy with that first half as we hold a 3-1 lead. And it's been a very quiet second half so far, but up to the 66-minute mark here, and there's a throw-in for us here just inside of the opposition half. Nuki off the bench will play that one back to Kor, thankfully, not doing anything too silly, and getting a second yellow. That could be an issue here late on in this game if it happened, but unfortunately, loose touch there. But then Lee Hyun-ju gets that ball back for us. Good 1-2 there with Jean. He takes on the shot, tries to beat the Matsumoto from a tight angle, but unfortunately, that one comes off the woodwork. The first highlight so far in this half. Still 3-1, but now we're going to have to take off here Okai on a red card. It might mean a bit of a shuffle up here. Lee Hyun-ju to central attacking midfield, and let's bring on Yamada at right wing for Okai with just under 20 minutes left. Still 3-1 in front. And only a few minutes off that previous sub, now it's time to make our last couple, because quite a few players here have dropped down to red hearts, both our midfielders as well as Kanade at left back. Suzuki, he can come on, and we're going to take off here, I think, Ohashi for Shimoda. That'll be all our subs used with just under 15 minutes left. Still 2 goals in front. And just making our way into the last 5 minutes of this game, we're going to try and make our way here out from the back from a goal kick. We knock it about, but thankfully are keeping hold of the ball for now, albeit Lee Hyun-ju plays that one back there to Nuki Abe, plays it back there to Kor, but then that pass doesn't quite find Abe, so a chance here for Kashima on the counter attack, but thankfully we get a foot in there through Kor. Good clearance, a little bit risky that on a yellow card, but thankfully he's controlling himself well, albeit give the ball away. Now Kashima are on the attack, and unfortunately a tackle there on Ezekiel. It's been given as a penalty, albeit the referee is going over to that little screen, and we saw that in the previous game. That decision got overturned, so hopefully this one will also be no penalty, because it did look like a pretty clean tackle, that one from Shimoda. And thank you VAR, you finally got rid of David Coote. That one gets overturned, so it's 3-1 still in our favour. If they got to go back there, that would have made things quite interesting coming back for the second leg in tomorrow's episode. Off the back of this, well, got a huge game in J1, but it is now a chance again for Kashima on the counter attack. They find their striker there in Komi, but thankfully he was offsides. Getting some late highlights here just to worry me by the looks of it. And to be fair, off the back of that previous game, it's working FM. I don't need more stressful highlights in this episode after what John Higashi did. Thankfully, Tagawa doing a bit better, even though his rating is just a 6.6. But it might even be a chance for us here to make it 4-1. Abe finds himself in space. Will take on the shot, but unfortunately, that one goes just wide of that bottom right corner. But we pick up a very good 3-1 win away from home there against the Kashima Antlers. That's our first time of beating them so far in this save, and that's a really good advantage as well to take into the second leg at home in tomorrow's episode. As I said, if we can beat these guys, should have a really good chance of picking up the J-League Cup, considering the teams who are on the other side of the draw. But thankfully, quite a bit of rotation, a change of goalkeeper, and we go a lot better there off the back of that team meeting. We pick up a win, so we're back in form here. Let's hope it can stay that way when we come back for tomorrow's episode. But we pick up a win in the first leg of that J-League Cup semi, 3-1 over the Kashima Antlers. So very thankfully, a much better performance for us there in front of goals. We beat the Kashima Antlers 3-1 off the back of that absolute Higashi horror show in that first game in today's episode. So we are looking good to go through to at least one cup final here with the Red Squirrels this season. They can hopefully at least pick up one trophy, because to get none, that'd be pretty awful considering how strong we've been all season, up near the top of J1 and making the semis of both cups. But obviously, can't pick up the Emperor's Cup now, but looking pretty good, fingers crossed, to make our way through to the J-League Cup final. Quite good work there from the youngsters that we did bring in particular. Junshu Shia, 1 goal and 1 assist. So he's definitely going to do a job for us without the likes of Osawa out on loan for the rest of the season. Young 17-year-old could be a lot of fun, depending on how long we actually stay here at Omiya Ardija when the KloppBot finally pulls the trigger and sends us to one of the other Red Bull clubs. I think that will do it for today's episode. Unfortunately, going to be missing Kor again for tomorrow's episode for that first game anyway, but hopefully that 2-goal lead, we can just sit on that and make sure we make our way through to that J-League Cup final. But if you enjoyed today's episode, hopefully you did, because I don't think I've seen a worse goalkeeping performance than that one in the first game of today's episode. But if you enjoyed watching me absolutely suffer through that, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you are enjoying the series, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. As I said, we'll come back tomorrow and finish things off here in the J-League Cup semis with that second leg back at home. Thankfully, we've got a bit more of a gap before that one, 4 days instead of 3 days. Hopefully, can maybe put out a slightly stronger team, as then it's a 6-day gap before our toughest game left in the J1 on paper. We take on Albilex Niigata, who are just outside of the top 4, so 2 big games coming up in tomorrow's episode. If we can beat those guys, hopefully that'll keep us in that title fight, and off the back of that, have a lot more winnable games coming up, especially having just picked up an away win over Kashima, because they are the only other team inside the top half of the table we take on in our run home. But we'll come back tomorrow, hopefully beat them again and make our way through to the J-League Cup final, and also get back on track in the J1 against Albilex Niigata. So until then, thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.